This semester I've been working with Sync Doctor. The problem was Sync Doctor needed a brand. The proper visual communication technology solutions that I have would help grow their business to the next level. So I determined that I was going to brand their company by creating branding colors and fonts, designing a custom logo, developing business cards, creating letterhead, and redesigning their custom brochure. So the colors that we came up with were a dark blue, a light tan, and a darker tan, which are shown on this screen. And the font family we decided on was Filito, which we used mainly the regular and some of the bold and extra light for variation. Here's the company logo that we created. This was the hardest part of the project, and this took the most time to develop. Working with my dad, we went back and forth and butt heads quite a bit on this section of the project because I gave him quite a few options for this chunk, and my mom and I sided on like the first sets and the second sets, and then he didn't like them, and so we went back and forth, and finally we agreed upon this, and we were all happy. And most sync companies don't even bother putting a sync in their logo because they're just too hard to incorporate, and most of them are actually pretty ugly. So I was happy that we were able to get one in there and that we were all happy with it. This is the business card that we designed, and I wanted to go for a little edgier look, so we put some angles in there and kind of made it look like an arrow, sort of. And his phone number is actually his lifeline for this company because he's on the road all day long making deliveries. So instead of putting the phone number over with just in the middle where the tan is over there, jumbled with the rest of his contact information, we made it stand out in the blue so no one would miss it. Here's the letterhead, and this is just, simple with a little design so that if he needs to send a document to somebody, he has the paper to do it. Just simple. And then here's the brochure that we're working on. We're actually still in the process of doing this, and the left-hand column's done, and it has about the company information, and then when you get down to the bottom, it has his little motto with the sync with an arrow that points over to his call for a free quote with his number, and check out the new warehouse with his contact information, which is pretty cool because he just moved to a new warehouse. He's expanding. And then we have the front cover, which we're not sure if we're completely done with that or not yet, but we're getting closer. And then the white space, we're still trying to decide what we're doing there. So, and then here's the interior. The content inside is good, so we think that's done, but then in the middle column down at the bottom, we're not positive if we're going to keep that little thing that kind of pops out at you. We might just kind of take that out of there and replace it with another granite composite sync, but then it might be kind of too plain and 3-column-ish, so might have to try something different. So like I said, we're still in the works with that, but I wanted to show you a little bit about what we're doing with that so that you could have an idea of this brochure that we're designing. And it's actually, one unique thing about this is it's going to be an 11 by 14 document, so a little different than your standard 8.5 by 11 because there's quite a bit of information in it, and as you can see in the interior. So the last one we had was just too cramped, and wanted to make it stand out a little bit. So in conclusion, the lessons I learned, the big one was working with family can be a challenge, and Lainey did warn me about that in the beginning, right when I submitted my application, and at first I didn't really believe her, but it was definitely proven. As soon as we first butt heads when we were working on the logo, my mom goes, "Didn't your professor tell you that working with family could be a challenge?" She was right, and she definitely was. So my dad and I went back and forth quite a bit during this project, but it was definitely a great experience, and I would absolutely do it again. I guess the biggest thing was I wanted to be satisfied with everything that came out of this project just as much as they were. So I worked a lot harder on this project than any other one that I have, because when my dad shows something to someone or one of his friends or clients, he attaches my name to it and says, "My daughter made this." So he's proud of me, and I want to be proud of my work as well. And so I treated every piece that I made for him like a portfolio piece, like you should for any other project. But so I got some great experience out of this one, and I was very happy to work with them. So in the future, there will definitely be more marketing pieces for his company created, and I'm looking forward to designing them for him.